Hello, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. We are going to start this week a unit that examines instruments. And this week we will be looking at some more typical instruments. Next week we'll get into some really unusual and weird ones, and we'll look at ways that you might sort them. So for this week we're going to be looking at sorting instruments of the orchestra into 4 different families. And I want you to think for a minute, what makes a family? For us, in our family, it has to do with who in your family looks similar. We call that sharing physical characteristics or traits. A lot of people in my family share this little curve of our hairline up here, and it drives all of us a little bit crazy, but that's one way that you can tell we're related. Sometimes the resemblances aren't as obvious. It might have to do with something about your personality being similar to one of your parents or one of your siblings. In the case of instruments, it has to do with how the sound is produced. That's the character trait that instruments within the same family will share. So sometimes instruments in the same family will look a lot alike, like the violin and the viola and the cello and the bass. All those members of the string family look almost identical except for their size, right? But then other instruments can belong to the same family and look totally different. Like in the brass family, if you think about what the trumpet looks like, and then you think about the tuba, they've got some physical similarities, but they don't look quite as much alike as, say, some of the things in the strings family. In that case, it's how the sound is produced. So to play a brass instrument, you have to buzz your lips. You have to do that to make the sound. That's what makes it fit into the brass family. So for this week, you are going to take a look at a video, or you're going to play around on a website. And you can do either or both, whichever you prefer. And then you're going to fill out a Google form or write a note to us in the discussion board that talks about what you learned about those 4 families of the orchestra. A lot of what you do this week is probably going to be review for a lot of you, but we think you're probably going to find some new information in there, and this will be a good foundation for you as you start to sort different instruments and create your own way of categorizing them next time. Have a great week.